Grand Bahama hosting its third TEDx event. Students sharing their encounter with a scary internet character. And it's the beginning of the Lenten season.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rolf-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news this evening, indiscriminate dumping remains a challenge for the city of Freeport. Officials of the Grand Bahama Port Authority say they are doing their part to keep the island clean and to maintain a pristine image. However, they say residents must now play an even greater role by taking pride in their city. Italia Hall has more. The Keep Grand Bahama Clean program involves many agencies with a common mandate to keep Grand Bahama clean. Director of the Building and Development Services Department and Chairman of the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Nakira Wilshcombe, giving the news team an idea of the magnitude of the problem that they have to combat every day. We visited an area across from the Amera Baseball Park that has become an illegal dump site. Wilshcombe says they have been doing their part to clean up the site, but she's asking residents to do their part as well.
We have a state-of-the-art landfill that is available for debris at minimal charges. You know, we have residents can go there free of charge with their debris. They also have a price for structure for loads being carried in a truck. And so we want people to call the landfill to find out these things before they go to all the lengths of disposing of their debris inappropriately.
She says a lot of effort and money goes into keeping Grand Bahama clean.
We're always working along with the police department and the Department of Environmental Health to get matters before the courts so that these persons can be prosecuted. And we'd like to see more of that. We see, the activity and the level of discussion in New Providence, and we're hoping that that same level could come to Grand Bahama as well, where culprits are caught and held accountable.
Assistant City Manager at the GBPA, Renato Caroyuyu, addressing the issue of derelict buildings in Freeport. Many have expressed concern about some of the hurricane-damaged buildings in the downtown area and its impact on the image of the city. One of them is the Savoy building. The Assistant City Manager says they have contacted the owners
and had them to bear account for the status of that building. As recently as January of this year, we invited the owners to come down and to show them our concerns as it relates to the dilapidated state of those buildings. In particular, the building next to the former CIBC, there's no longer a certificate of occupancy for that building and it is unoccupied. So it is our expectation that the owners will get it up to the building code.
There were two major demolitions last year, the former Silver Sands Hotel and the Professional Plaza. He adds that their efforts are ongoing.
Part of that process is to compile accurate property ownership details. Once we determine the ownership, we write to those owners, giving them a 30-day notice. Thereafter, a legal notice is prepared, giving an additional 30 days, and then the advertisement is placed in the local dailies advising them of pending demolition exercises.
Now, the city manager says there are a total of 10 buildings that are on the list to be demolished in the Freeport area this year. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News. In other news, it was an event filled with brilliant speakers, a thought-provoking video, and mind-blowing conversation. We are talking about the TEDx youth event organized by young people for young people. The third TEDx Youth Forum opened this morning at the Regency Theater under the theme, Let Me Say Something. Our Megan Shepard was there.
Coordinator for the TEDx Youth at Grand Bahama, Katarla Taylor, welcoming various high school students to the third annual TEDx Youth event. She encouraged the young people to be attentive, have open minds, and support their peers as they share ideas on a range of topics, foster learning, inspiration, and ponder conversations that matter.
Apart from the fact that you're enjoying it, you're here to learn. We have designed TEDx Youth at Grand Bahama to be for and by our students. And over the past couple of months, a group of students, you will see them on the back of your program, have been hard at work in various areas to bring this event to you today.
Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, noting that for decades, the island has been known as the industrial capital of the country, but says that now the government is working to position the island as a major technology hub in the region. He admonished the students to prepare themselves as future leaders.
So as you are in school, as you begin to think about what you're going to do and how you're going to impact your island, there are a couple of things that we want you to remember. Think about artificial intelligence. Think about data management. Think about cybersecurity. Think about these aspects that right now we don't have enough of.
The youth event featured thought-provoking presentations by young people, which will be recorded and uploaded to the internet on the TEDx platform. One of those speakers, Algero Knowles of St. Andrews International School, says his talk focused on a new passion of his.
Sales professionals, in my opinion, they are the extra nudge. They're the people who are going to give that extra nudge to buy that product, so they are influencers. And specifically high-end products, but like the grocery stores and stuff like that, you wouldn't see much of a sales professional. But mainly they help guide down like the perfect path to that particular product you want to buy.
Presenter William Moss of Bishop Michael Eldon presented on the pros and cons of gaming.
One positive about gaming is that they can improve eyesight. A study by McMaster University proved this. And another is that they could help improve students' academic results in science, math, and language, which is proven by The Guardian, which is a British newspaper. However, two negatives is that action games has been shown to decrease your prefrontal cortex, hippocampus, and cerebellum, which has been proven by the Daily Telegraph.
Also of Bishop Michael Eldon, Rochelle Manchester. She says she noticed that when young people speak up for themselves, they can often be labeled as rude or facetious. Her talk focused on offering advice to her peers.
What I was just trying to convey is how to speak up for yourself or speak up in general without coming off as rude or facetious or being rowdy. So that's basically the message I wanted to convey.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Now to another youth-related story. Law enforcement agencies and schools all over the world continue to warn parents about a challenge led by a Japanese doll that encourages children to harm themselves. Tonight we speak with several students as well as a school administrator about their experience and what parents should know about this deadly game.
Big beady eyes with the ugly smiles with the ugly face and long black hair.
That's how this young child describes Momo, the disturbing face of a doll that pops up in the middle of kids' shows on YouTube. The doll encourages children to commit dangerous and deadly tasks to themselves as well as their family. This new challenge has been sweeping the globe and has even been blamed for the deaths of a string of young people. Now, while this has yet to be proven, the fact is children here at home have had a first-hand encounter with this Japanese doll.
Just popped up and I thought it was a virus. And then it just was smiling, so I got scared and I threw my computer and my computer broke. And I didn't tell my mom about it because I thought it was just a virus.
And it says stuff like, put like a fork in a socket, put your hand on a stove, and it tells children to do these stuff. And Momo says, if you tell your parents, I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna kill you and do certain stuff.
It hypnotizes you and make you not want to stop watching it and stuff like that.
Did you want to stop watching it?
No, Mom.
You wanted to continue to watch it?
I mean, I didn't want to continue to watch it.
My cousin from Nassau came, and then he told me that's Momo that's Momo. And he showed me like some pictures of it, and I was like, she ugly, eh?
These children say that this ugly doll did leave them feeling afraid, and many of them admitted to not telling their parents.
I was scared. I didn't even open my computer since that happened. And I said, who even made the Momo doll? That don't even make sense. Why would you want children to kill themselves?
What are you afraid of?
Her smile and the way like the way she looks, it freaks me out.
Tiffany Meadows, Vice Principal of Academics at Sunland Baptist Academy, says that in these times, parents must remain vigilant.
To be aware, because, and it's not an indictment on parents. A lot of parents are very vigilant, but the predators have now found a way to invade our safe place. So you think my child is in the house, and some parents even put settings on these devices so they know what the kids are watching. They make sure they can't watch inappropriate things, but now the predators have found a way to infiltrate even the innocent things. So I would just tell parents to be extra vigilant, because what we used to know as vigilant is not as vigilant as it used to be.
Tell your parents as much as you can about it, and always remember that God is with you, that this Momo thing can't get to you.
Now to news from the Supreme Court. 22-year-old Naki Roberts is sentenced to 14 years behind bars for the death of former Freeport Harbor employee Dwayne Augustus Jackson. Jackson's death occurred between November 17th and November 22nd, 2016. His body was found in the Maxim Court apartment complex on Ponce de Leon Drive after he did not report for work, and concerned employees went in search of their colleague. During the trial, Roberts maintained that he visited the home of the deceased and the deceased asked him for sexual favors. An argument ensued that escalated to a fight, which resulted in Jackson's death. Now, during Justice Estelle Gray Evans, who presided over the case, initially sentenced Roberts, she sentenced him to 16 years and 6 months. However, the sentence was reduced to time served. Today is Ash Wednesday, a significant observance on the Christian calendar as it marks the beginning of the Lenten season. Several denominations across the island observing the day in church, where they were reminded of the importance of this sacred time while getting their foreheads marked with ashes, symbolizing the dust from which the human race was formed. Our ZNS News team visited Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Church for the traditional Mass. Father David Cooper explains its significance.
And we count 40 days, excluding Saturday and Sundays. And this is a reliving of the 40-day temptation of Jesus in the desert after he was baptized. It's a time of spiritual renewal. It's a time for spiritual refocusing, as it were. And certainly it's a time for us to ponder the mystery of the life, death, and resurrection of Christ and what that means for us in the modern-day discipleship.
Father Cooper explains that we live in a crazy world, and he's hoping that Christians use this time to pray for our island, country, and the world at large.
There is a void or disconnect between people who want to practice Christianity seriously, but there are only a few safe environments to do so, and so we are inconsistent with that. And I hope this Lenten season there's a boldness for us to be more consistent, as the second reading told us, to be ambassadors for Christ anywhere we go. And maybe it's fruitful, we have a lot of things to pray for our nation, the world, and this is what this season is about. It isn't about us trying to lose a couple of pounds, or I give up this for Lent. That's old story, but it's more praying, more charity, more speaking confidence based on scripture to people, and giving hope. So I hope this Lenten journey be different than all the other ones, that we see the fruits of it during the Easter season.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after the break.